On defense, number 3, Gainbridge, CDs out.
Weather delayed things a bit here on Independence Day. Sold out crowd at FNB Stadium to welcome Brooklyn FC as they visit the reigning champion Pittsburgh Riverhounds. But better late than never, we are ready to get things going from Pittsburgh. Alongside MLS veteran Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Joe Malfa. Ricky, these two teams come into this game in very different ways. Pittsburgh, a team that is starting to find its group just like they did last year around this time, climbing up the standings. Brooklyn, meanwhile, haven't won in quite a bit, and they have a lot of work to do.
I had the ability to speak with Rob Vincent. He was really pleased against the match at Hartford Athletic, where they drew 1-1. But when they play at home, this side, 4 wins, 1 loss, they know exactly what it means to play at Highmark Stadium, while Brooklyn's side have not won away from home. So it's an opportunity for Martin LeBlanc to right those wrongs and push up the Eastern Conference. Big challenge for the visiting side.
And we look at tonight's player to watch, sponsored by Modelo, celebrating those with a fighting spirit. It's Albert Dikwa, whose determination and skill truly embody the mark of a fighter.
Albert Dikwa has 6 goals, 2 assists on the season, can do a little bit of everything as a number 9, can play with his back to goal to occupy the center backs, can spin and stretch the game. Service into Albert Dikwa, getting him comfortable high up the field, going to be crucial for the success of the Riverhounds.
First ever meeting between these teams, and you know what? Let's just look at the strikers right up your alley here. Dikwa on one side and Marcus Anderson on the other.
Marcus Anderson, 5 goals, 3 assists on this season for Brooklyn. He does a lot of the dirty work in terms of pressing, making the center backs of the opposition really uncomfortable. The work rate can link up the game. he needs to be really good if Brooklyn wants to come into Highmark Stadium and steal all the points.
It was interesting watching the fans file into the seats and out of the seats and into the seats and out of the seats as the weather came and went pregame, but now the stands are packed at FNB Stadium. Give everybody a chance to maybe get a little more hydrated. Almost ready to get things going. It's the Pittsburgh Riverhounds against Brooklyn FC for the first time ever, and it's coming your way in a moment on ESPN+.
At FNB, we're not just changing the skyline of Pittsburgh, we're reshaping the landscape of banking, building a new headquarters in the Hill District, making a $1 billion impact in our region, fueling growth, revitalizing neighborhoods, creating opportunities. Because when our city rises, we all rise. Your bank might do business here. We're building a brighter future here.
Can your bank do that?
Welcome to FNB. Let's get started.
One here as this ball rolls in, and an early chance is finished by Albert Dikwa.
Our blueprint at 84 Lumber started with the simplest of ideas: hire good people, provide excellent service, add value. From that foundation, we created our structure and shaped an industry. We build projects, homes, dreams, neighborhoods. We build careers, lives, futures. We build success. 84 Lumber.
Finally ready to get things going here in Pittsburgh as the reigning champion Riverhounds welcome Brooklyn FC for the first ever meeting between these two sides. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by IC Light, brewed for victory. And we will start things off with the home side, Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Rob Vincent in his first year as the full-time manager for the Riverhounds, sitting out this group here tonight.
4-2-3-1 here for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. You're looking at that middle duo of Robbie Mertz and Danny Griffin. You do a really good job at dictating tempo, understanding when to press and play a little bit quicker, but also when to take the sting out of this match, because you know Brooklyn FC is going to press. You have Charles Zoll. He's going to have the freedom to go and search underneath Albert Dikwa and Elliot Gordthorpe. That will be the attacking trio for Rob Vincent.
On the other side for Brooklyn, it's a team that has plenty of talent. We've seen it in spurts this season, but they just haven't put things together on a consistent basis for results. Maybe tonight changes things.
Consistency, that is the word that Marlon LeBlanc is looking for with his Brooklyn side. You're looking at Marcus Anderson. We talked about his work rate to make the center backs really uncomfortable. Stojanovic and Olin Jr., they might pop underneath and supply and allowing that combination play. McNamara and Klein in that central location. Look for them to dictate tempo.
If not for everything Colton Swan has been doing so far in Charleston, there's a really good chance CJ Olney would be the frontrunner for the Young Player of the Year this season in the USL Championship. A goal and 4 assists, a number of other chances created. He has been dynamic game in, game out. Center of your screen, wearing number 56 in gray today for Brooklyn. Not your typical look for the Riverhounds, ditching the black and gold staple of Pittsburgh for Independence Day, rocking the red and blue. At least these kits, as a number of teams have, around USL Championship in conjunction with the 250th anniversary of the United States. Amin Hadzic, the referee in charge this evening. It'll be Pittsburgh in the red, white, and blue from left to right. Brooklyn in the gray and black from right to left. About an hour after we were supposed to get things going, we will finally get things going. First ever meeting between these two clubs. The Pittsburgh side that is starting its surge up the standings in the Eastern Conference of the USL Championship. A Brooklyn side that is hoping for a spark. And away we go from FNB Stadium in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh comes in unbeaten in their last 4 games. Started with a win over Louisville City on May 9th. Going into that game, Rob Vincent said, all we need is 1 game to be our turning point. Well, that turned out to be the day. On the road, they got their first clean sheet of the season in that win against Louisville, and they haven't given up a goal since then. 4 games running, 4 straight clean sheets for Pittsburgh. Let's take a look at tonight's Building a Win keys to the game.
You're looking for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. You need to be clean on the ball, understanding that Brooklyn is going to press. So if you can break through that press, the field will start to open up. And for this Brooklyn side, you need to stay compact within your defensive structure. Over the course of 2026, you've conceded 24 times. So defensively, it's going to give you the foundation to stay into this match.
Romeo. Callum Frog sitting all the way back for Lucas Burns, making his 5th start and goal for Brooklyn. Tonight's injury report brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Nothing officially reported on either side. Opening up through the night clean as well. Comes all the way down to Nico Campuzano, goalkeeper in his first year with the Riverhounds, replacing Eric Dick. Didn't have a clean sheet until that Louisville game, now has 4 in a row. An initiative from Rob Vincent and crew to start layering in some of what made them so successful defensively last year. Spent the early portion of this season focusing on the attack and how they could be more proactive and getting his fingerprints more on the group. Now starting to get back to their roots and marrying the 2 styles together. It's brought success.
Also changing the formation into what looks like a 4-2-3-1 for Rob Vincent. Gives his side a little bit more of a structure and responsibility. Good little ball here to Albert Dikwa.
Cut out wide. First look for Pittsburgh. Deflected, was it? It is corner.
Phenomenal little ball around the corner from Barnes into Albert Dikwa, and that allows him to just turn and go out the other way. Love the secondary movement underneath from Vieira. Information on the ball for Charles All just to step into it and try to wrap his right foot around it. And KZO does just enough to put it wide for a corner kick in favor of the Riverhounds.
Goldthorpe will take the corner. It's a goal this season. No assists yet. Could come here on this service. Corner presented by Cohen Markets. Right in front of the supporters. Packed house at FNB Stadium. Second year in a row, Pittsburgh playing at home on Independence Day. Goldthorpe swings it in, back post. Second ball rifled in. Pittsburgh PR uncovered a fantastic stat. If you exclude the brief time when the New York Islanders of the NHL were playing in Brooklyn because their stadium was being built. Look at a second as Anderson wins a corner for Brooklyn. If you exclude that, because they weren't technically the Brooklyn Islanders, just a temporary home, a professional team from Brooklyn has not played a professional team from Pittsburgh since the last ever game at Ebbets Field of the Brooklyn Dodgers back on September 24th, 1957, the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So, it has been almost 70 years since we've seen a Brooklyn-Pittsburgh professional matchup.
Learn something every day, right?
Something new every day. CJ only none alive back then. Swings the corner in. Carried away by Nico Campuzano. Secondary service. Campuzano stays home. Out of play. Goal kick.
One thing that we know from this Brooklyn side, that, yes, they've struggled to find the back of the net, but they have a lot of quality in terms of set pieces with CJ Only Jr., the ability to whip the ball in with some real pace to really test the opposition. So Campuzano needs to do a good job at trusting his back line, but also his positioning when he does step off of his goal line.
So is that Griffin dropping in to retrieve, wearing the captain's armband for the Riverhounds. 12th start this season. He's been their reliable man over the years. Lumped long to Dequa off the chest. It's been such a difference maker having Dequa back after a couple of years away at Rhode Island before returning home to Pittsburgh, where he won a Golden Boot and an MVP. Griffin. Overlap is there from Perrin Barnes. Goldthorpe goes centrally instead. Well done by Lucas Burns. It could have gone anywhere on the touch. He stayed true and collected.
Just so much time and space for Goldthorpe just to get this ball in the half turn. Has Barnes coming around the corner, has Albertico making a run down the center channel. If you are Marlon LeBlanc, you need to solidify your shape defensively, because right now Rob Vincent and company, all one-way traffic. Notice the amount of time he has to pick up his head, take about 3 touches. Good idea to find Albertico.
Turn to CBS on Saturday, July 18th for USL Championship Eastern Conference Showdown. Last season's champion Pittsburgh Riverhounds go head-to-head with the 2025 Players' Shield winner Louisville City in a must-watch match of the summer. 2 elite clubs, 1 massive stage. Don't miss a minute of the action on CBS at noon. That's on July 18th. Goldthorpe battling Javi Alves. Just has enough on it to get out of play. It's interesting when Brooklyn has gotten away from home this season. The confines in Brooklyn, so unique, so specific, so cramped and small. It just completely changes the game and the way it's played. 2-4-1 at home. Not a great record, but both their wins have come at home. Away from home, 0-4-2 Brooklyn. A team that has struggled overall, but has particularly struggled to adapt to a different setting.
And it's something that came up in our conversation with Rob Vincent, noticing the lack of form for Brooklyn when they do play away from Maimonides Park. He said, look, yes, the field is really tight there, but our field is tight as well here at FNB Stadium. So there is going to be a little bit of comfortability here for Brooklyn, knowing that they are going to press, that they are going to be aggressive and trying to make us uncomfortable. So that is why the biggest key for this Pittsburgh side, specifically when playing out of the back, is releasing that pressure and playing through the line, specifically in central locations.
That was the diplomatic answer from Rob Vincent. If you just eyeball it, there is no way the dimensions at this field are close to the dimensions at Maimonides. It's certainly tighter here than it would be at Lynn Family Stadium, per se, in Louisville, but it's certainly not Brooklyn. A free kick on the way, won by Albert Dequa.
It's time for a Mosquito Joe free kick. Kick out buzz with Mosquito Joe.
Veteran Tommy McNamara holding the high line at the edge of the 18. 200 appearances in his MLS career, spent mostly with New England. Pittsburgh attacking this supporters' end in this first half, wanting to give them something to erupt about. Dark clouds overhead behind the supporters, remnants of the storms that came through and delayed things by an hour. Players got their full warm-ups. Now from the free kick, knotted down by Dequa, shout for a handball, but nothing there. Out for a goal kick. You can watch the USL on ESPN2 July 11th. That's next Saturday for a Brinks Tires USL Cup Interleague matchup. Championship club San Antonio looks to clinch Group 3 with a win over League One opponent Chattanooga Red Wolves, determined to spoil the party. That's Saturday, July 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Johnny Klein for an outlet in Anderson, who's been quiet so far. 10 minutes in, hasn't had a touch yet. Olney as well to get to the end line. Nobody crashing too much on that service. And out for a Riverhounds throw. Kelp gets it back into play. Frogson. It's on for Anderson. Something to get your striker occupied and involved. Goes back the other way for Pittsburgh. The more you can ease Anderson into this game, the better. 5 goals, 3 assists in 9 games this season.
Yeah, 12 minutes in, only 3 touches for Marcus Anderson. He's a player that you need to get involved a little bit more if you are this Brooklyn side. They struggled in the final third, in the attacking third of play, unable to really find any sort of rhythm.
Alves is looking long again. It's really part of the DNA for Brooklyn, and it's a habit that's tough to break because they're so direct at home because of the field dimensions. How do you break out of those habits when you go on the road? It maybe takes a little bit of time, 10, 15 minutes to realize, oh, we do have space to put it on the deck and play, because they certainly have the pieces for it. This is a team that is not devoid of talent by any stretch of the imagination. It just feels like it takes them a little while to get into games on the road. Haven't gotten into this one yet.
Again, really good idea from Alves, just trying to pop this ball into Olney Jr. Thinks Anderson's underneath him. Over the last 2 minutes or so, seeing a little bit more comfortable this Brooklyn side. You have Johnny Klein a little bit deeper, allowing Tommy McNamara to push higher and find that final ball. Like you mentioned, like we've mentioned early on in this match, they're struggling just to get on the same page.
Pressure here, right side. Van Kaizel, some freedom to release Frogson. And a really hard, no whistle coming out of that one, either for a foul or a handball. Play on. Dequap open in the middle. Laid off. Robbie Mertz hits one, but slices it wide.
Good heads-up play from Vieira. No whistle, continues on, first to react and pick up this second ball, but I love his patience. As he cuts in, you have 2 runners that drag out this back line of Brooklyn, so that allows Robbie Mertz right on top of the 18-yard box with that amount of space. With the quality that Mertz has, you expect him at the very least to force a save out of Burns, just mishits it.
Romeo looks long. Settled by Johnny Klein. Still without a shot at this one through 15 minutes. Brooklyn, though, they have surprisingly had a bit more of the possession. A lot of it's been in their own end. This one down the left side, looking once again. Max Vieira. Oh, is it a river ball? Oh!
Can't tell.
Oh, you know what?
Did it go?
So they flashed the Surfside Splashdown sponsor, but I don't think it made it. I think it got caught on that tree from our vantage point. That's why the crowd started to get up for it. Usually there's a roar from the crowd when it actually makes it out to the water. I don't think that one made it. The roar wasn't there. Barnes comes across, long throw specialist, looking for that flick on, they don't get it. And Cervania heads it clear for Brooklyn, only as far though as Robbie Mertz. The possession begins again for Pittsburgh all the way back. But Nico Campuzano being chased right away by Marcus Anderson. So he gives it right back. It was icy there for a second. Crowd was holding its breath to see if it would bounce over the head of Lucas Burns. It did not. Oh, that could have been a handball in the box there as it hopped up awkwardly on Callum Frogson, who gives it away anyway. Could be numbers for Pittsburgh from a long way away. It slices again. Did it take a deflection? That was the plea from Pittsburgh, but for another goal kick, and Charles Hall is wondering what went wrong with it.
Way too casual between Romeo and Frogson, the two center backs here. Cheaply giving this ball over. So Charles Hall steps into it, just again trying to bend it towards that far post and mishits it. Those are areas that you need to be a little bit more ruthless and clinical if you are the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, because right now Brooklyn just gifting you the ball higher up the field.
Admission is free. You can find a watch party at riverhounds.com/watch party.
Vieira floats it, Goldthorpe the volley, not much on it. Starting to find those soft spots, Pittsburgh. Klein almost gave it away. Pressure starting to close in now from the Riverhounds. Dequel leading the line. Turns out to midfield. Won by Souza. McNamara had his pocket picked. Mertz. Ricky, if you think this crowd is special tonight, sold out crowd, Independence Day at F&B Stadium, oh, you just wait till next Saturday. July 11th, the Riverhounds back at it at F&B Stadium. It's dollar beer night against Loudoun United. Bring the energy, pack the stands, enjoy dollar beers while the Hounds battle against a conference rival under the lights. Tickets available now. Scan the QR code on screen or visit riverhounds.com/tickets. It's quite the 3 weeks in a row here at F&B Stadium. You've got this one tonight, Independence Day, sold out crowd. Next week, you've got the dollar beers, and the week after is when you've got Louisville City, that nationally televised game on CBS.
Pretty good time to be a Riverhounds fan, huh?
Reigning champions. You've got a bunch of home games in a row. Your team is unbeaten in 4 games, with 3 being wins.
Starting at just $10 and help us add to the legacy of the City of Champions.
Very tight between the sideline and the ad boards. Perrin Barnes, the long throw specialist, but from that far side, you only get so much run up, so he goes short. Let's see if he'll try to get something long this time or if he'll go short again. It's maybe 2 yards between the ad board and the sideline, if that. Did his best on the volley, pulled wide.
Difficult technique there for Robbie Mertz. Let the ball drop as you have traffic oncoming. You see Martin LeBlanc hitting his side to be a little bit cleaner when playing out of the back, specifically the 2 center backs really sloppy with the ball at their feet 20 minutes into this match.
This turf surface, the range that came through, it is slicker. Pittsburgh more accustomed to it at home, Brooklyn less so. You wonder if that plays a role at all. McNamara's turn. Every time they look upfield, it's given away, it feels like. Now Goldthorpe on his preferred left foot lays it off. Vieira blocked down by Frogson. Goldthorpe wins it. They're the first to every second ball right now, Pittsburgh. Mertz looking back post, too much for Griffin.
Risk versus reward here for Brooklyn, understanding that if there is pressure, there's nothing wrong with playing a little bit more direct and pushing higher up the field, because right now, like you mentioned, not only are they losing the tactical battle, but also the physical, mental battle as well. The Riverhounds first to every single 50-50 ball. Brooklyn struggling when trying to play out of their defensive third.
Foul is going to go against Brooklyn. To their dismay, they felt the contact was initiated by Mertz. Marcus Anderson is just realizing it now that it's against him.
And just notice the body position of Marcus Anderson, already trying to play Robbie Mertz, and just drops his shoulder and almost undercuts the Pittsburgh player.
Seems sort of what we expected from both these teams stylistically through the first quarter of this game, if you will, halfway through this first half. And to have you with us on ESPN Plus alongside MLS veteran Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Joe Malfa. First ever meeting between Pittsburgh, the reigning champions, and Brooklyn in their inaugural season. 6 shots to nothing in favor of Pittsburgh. Only 1 on target. Possession edge slightly to Brooklyn, but a lot of it has just been trying to get out of their own end. So many giveaways off of that. So is it going long, looking for Dequap. Second ball picked up by Barnes.
Again, Klein and McNamara late to everything. Once that ball does get by, you need to get on your bike and you need to drop a little bit deeper, because again, this time it's Barnes picking up that second ball higher up the field.
Vieira. Mertz. Goldthorpe advantage played. I mean, Hudzich might bring it back. It never truly materialized. Barnes tracking it. Won by Gabi Alves, and he's fouled it by Perrin Barnes. That one's tough. Fell a long way on that one, Alves, as he went up for it.
He's a big piece of Brooklyn in their back line. Alves is the work rate to get high up the field, can serve in a really good ball with the left foot that he has. Big physical outside back as well, comfortable with the ball at his feet. And an awkward fall. If he's okay to continue on.
Miss one of the biggest matches of the summer as the Riverhounds host Louisville City FC on Saturday, July 18th at noon in a nationally televised showdown on CBS. Be here live at F&B Stadium and arrive early. The first 750 fans will receive an AMO World Cup themed bobblehead. Get your tickets today. Scan the QR code on screen or visit riverhounds.com/tickets. Barnes delivers. Back briefly. Awkward clearance sideways across the 18. And a foul against Victor Souza.
July is here and we're turning up up the heat with all new monthly specials. Stop by Nacho Junction for loaded buffalo chicken nachos, or try the bacon jalapeno burger from the Train Grill. It's sizzling outside and in our kitchens, so don't miss out on your chance to grab these delicious specials.
Pressure coming again from Pittsburgh. It's Alves. Spending so much energy, Ricky, just trying to keep it from being turned over in their own end, and they're just turning it over across midfield anyway.
Just no options. Every single time, whether it is Van Kaziel or maybe Alves that gets the ball, their only look is to play down the line into Marcus Anderson. You need more from Cervania, McNamara, and Klein. Whether one dropped a little bit deep just to give you an angle that you can pop the ball into them to go out the other way, or someone at least challenging for the second duel, because right now, Marcus Anderson is just on an island against this back four of the Riverhounds.
Back to Burns, and they go again. Trying to play out of the back. To little or no success in the first 26.5 minutes. Tiqua, good hold up play. Knocked it down for Vieira. Burns gathers again.
Just mentioned that Marcus Anderson on an island against this back line of Pittsburgh. Cervania, the number 10, who should be the connector from back to front, only 6 touches through half an hour of this match. Simply not good enough if you want to supply your target man and your goal scorer more service. Really disconnected here. Good movement.
Did stay down, but too much on that ball for Burns to come out and gather it. Up. A little chest over to Danny Griffin. And off for Goldthorpe. Camara just pesky enough. Barnes commits the foul. Rather Dequa, excuse me, on Alves. Almost a half an hour into this game. It doesn't really feel like Brooklyn is shifting anything. They came in with a game plan. Nothing has really gone their way, and they're sticking to it.
And a lot of their issues that they're running into are in that central role. That balance between McNamara, Klein, and Cervania just not on the same page whatsoever. How many times have we seen this same ball from Alves down the line? This time it's only Junior making a really clever run.
Let's get them a corner, though, this time. Yet to take a shot in this game. They've yet to threaten. Corner they've had, only his first, wasted long, so nobody at the back post for it. Only better service this time, flicked on back post and just wide. Would have been completely against the run of play, and Klein nearly did it.
Wonderful little run here from Klein. Just pops off that 6-yard box. And notice how he does not need to generate power, just simply redirect it and tries to loop it towards that far post. Not even a courtesy dive from Campuzano. Clever header from the midfielder.
I know that many teams will be tracking down Tampa Bay or Charleston as this season goes on. The clear 2 best teams in the East so far this season, but both did lose already today. Indy down Charleston 2-0 at home. Tampa Bay surprisingly lost 4-1 at home against Lexington. So the Pittsburgh team that is in the upper half of the Eastern Conference right now can gain some ground, close the gap a little bit. Best Pittsburgh could do today is get to 23 points, so it would still be more than arm's length away from both those top 2 teams. But opportunities there to climb a bit closer after their failures earlier in the day. No scores elsewhere right now in the USL Championship. Louisville and Hartford. Interesting one at Lynn Family Stadium in Louisville. That's 0-0. Rhode Island hosting Orange County at halftime 0-0. Top team in the Western Conference, Orange County, by points at least. Whether you consider them the best team in the West or not, that's more up for debate in a very tight Western Conference, but they are in first at the moment. For the Brinks Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on screen and enter today. Home for Brooklyn. Goldthorpe picks it up again.
If you are the Riverhounds and you do get into this area of the field, the tempo needs to be higher. Really, Goldthorpe, you cannot take about 3 touches just to play this ball into Danny Griffin. It's a sloppy giveaway once again from Brooklyn. They're out of shape. That's when you need to penetrate, and penetrate quick. So that is something that if you are Rob Vincent, you have to be aware of, and hopefully try to correct it as halftime is starting to come a little bit closer.
I mean, all things considered, the way the control of this game has gone, if you're Brooklyn, you're happy it's still 0-0, but you're not happy with the way you've been performing.
Are 30% off in the team store. Head over next to the Corona Cantina and grab.
Conversely, if you're Pittsburgh, happy with the way you've shown, but you're unhappy with the fact that you haven't got anything past Lucas Burns. Only 1 shot on target to even test him. Klein. Klein out wide. Stefan Stojanovic, I don't think we've called his name yet in this one. Another dynamic player in the attack for Brooklyn, typically. 4 goals this season. One made it out to the river, no question that time. From a long way out, gobbled up by Campuzano. First shot of the evening for Brooklyn.
And if also a player that needs to become a little bit more active, Cervania, he does have the quality to create his own shot. Love the aggressiveness. Unable to pick out a corner. A little bit of life shown for Brooklyn in around that 18-yard box there.
Just leave it there. Max Vieira. Steps, I'll say Kelp, and he'll leave it as well. Someone's got to take it. Aaron Barnes enters the picture again, comes all the way across the field to right back. Barnes sliding it through. Connecting in the attacking third, Pittsburgh to this point.
A lot of their work that they've done has gotten them into that final third, but continues to break down to really threaten Burns. With the amount of possession, them dictating the game, you would want for Rob Vincent and company to try to force more saves out of the goalkeeper.
to go in this first half. Both teams with one shot on target. Neither keeper has truly been tested. LeBlanc having a word, something with our fourth official. Down for Brooklyn on the far side of the field, meanwhile. Slowly staggering back to his feet. Callum Froxson. Alves. I tend to see Alves release forward often, especially when they're at home. And the game is a bit more compact, tighter confines, but he's been pinned back in this one.
Never really seen that sense of fluidity that we've seen from Brooklyn. Really, whether it is only Junior coming underneath, Stojanovic making runs, Alves, like you mentioned, Joe, pushing a little bit higher. Been far too predictable, just trying to shove this ball down that central location where there is a lot of traffic in favor of the Riverhounds.
It's trying to settle down Rob Vincent. Rob Vincent, an intense character. It feels like he wants to get out there and play himself at times. Still, we noticed in warm-ups today, he was actually the one putting the team through the dynamic warm-up paces. I don't know that I've ever seen a head coach do that.
Back to the academy days for me.
Right. That was about 25 years ago.
Come on now.
I mean, he looks like he can still play.
A lot of times when we have the chance to speak to a lot of these managers, you just sense the passion and how much they care about the game and wanting to get back up on there. Well, Vincent, no exception.
Took over as the interim head coach last year. Guided Pittsburgh to a title. Stripped the interim title, kept him full-time. Growing pains to start this season. Again, now 4 unbeaten, 3 wins, 1 draw. This one slipped through. Offside flag comes up. So we're going to avoid what would have been a very interesting refereeing crisis. Would that have been red? Would it not have been red? Doesn't matter. It's offside.
It's a clever run from Albert Dikwa as Danny Griffin makes a run down the heart of the Brooklyn back line. Initially starts his run centrally, but he fends wide to try to come back across and loop his run. Again, just the shape in this particular play for the Brooklyn back line all over the place. About half of a yard to a yard off the shoulder of Romeo. Danny Griffin just waiting as long as he possibly can to try to disguise this ball in.
Alternate universe where that's onside. That's red for you?
100%.
So very lucky by the slimmest of margins, Brooklyn, to still be 11v11 right now. Alves. Spun like a top. Dikwa, can he switch it? He can. Space on that far side. All wrong in the end from Charles Hall.
Good ball.
Only underneath it. Silky first touch, but it took him a little bit too wide. Mess made of that from Campuzano. Just loses bearings or slip on the slick surface. Carelessly conceded corner.
Phenomenal little pick out from Van Kaziel to play it into CJ only, but like you mentioned, his first touch lets him down. Just brings him back into the defender. And initially it does look like Campuzano unaware where he is on the field. See no VAR here in USL Championship, so whatever the call is stands. And an opportunity for Cervania and Brooklyn right before halftime to really test this Riverhounds defensive set.
Swung in from the corner. Had a play before it curled back in. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Mertz. Passed by Cervania, back for Souza, wide to Barnes.
Last 10 minutes as well, the Riverhounds become a little bit sloppy. Very uncharacteristic-like in terms of the turnovers that they're just giving back to Brooklyn.
How much could the delay have factored into the sloppiness of both these teams here in this first half? Everything pushed back an hour, abruptly so.
A lot of that depends on how far or if they even went out to warm up. A lot of these players, when you go through your routine in terms of the match preparation on the field, it's difficult to go through a complete warm-up to say, okay, we have to go back into the locker room to sit for an hour versus, okay, you're not even going out onto the field.
Flared wide, volley blocked, and it spins into the chest of Nico Campuzano.
Difficult ball to deal with from Stojanovic. As this ball comes around hip height, has a clean first touch.
Whistle from the referee. Mertz is down back behind the play.
On the right side of the field.
Mertz is stretching out that right calf. Although, Lucas Burns, who's walked off the field as well, waiting for official word. Could this be weather related? We had the hour delay here in this game. And it looks like that might be the case. The players from both teams made their way off the pitch. And now Amin Hadzic, the referee, going to collect the ball. He's leaving it, though, for Nico Campuzano. It was weird. I've not seen that happen. Both teams came like all the way to their locker, to their sidelines, and Lucas Burns had to just make a 70-yard sprint back into his goal.
I was with you. I thought for sure there was a lightning strike.
Why was Lucas Burns all the way in the Pittsburgh bench is my biggest question right now, basically. Griffin. Just be one added minute at the end of this first half, we're told. Good quick give and go, incisive from Pittsburgh, but he ran into the traffic.
Again, sloppy. No need to try to force the issue. Keep the game simple, especially with how expanded this Brooklyn back line is.
Goldthorpe works it through. Mertz. Oh, he wanted Goldthorpe, who wasn't ready for it. He would have had that pocket of space on his left foot.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will be 1 minute of stoppage time. 1 minute.
Knocks in. Oh, heavy collision. Free kick on the way for Pittsburgh. Are we going to see the game's first card? We will. Stefan Stojanovic, who hasn't really been involved in this half in any other sort of way until that moment.
He just drops his shoulder and blindsides Charles All here. Tough challenge. Good to see All back on his own power, walking away.
Yellow card against Brooklyn, number 19.
And never peeks over his left shoulder here, Charles All. And you just see really tough contact from Stojanovic.
A lot of contact in the box there. Gabi Alves gets away with it. And the whistle goes to end a sloppy half number one between Pittsburgh and Brooklyn, scoreless through 45.
If you are Rob Vincent and the Riverhounds, you need to have possession with a purpose, meaning a lot of the times you dictated tempo, you dominated the play, but you have not put enough pressure on Lucas Burns. And if you are Martin LeBlanc, not your best half, but yet 0-0, something to grow on in the second 45 minutes.
And you wonder what sort of factor the weather may be as we continue on tonight. The skies opened up again the last few minutes of this first half. An already slick surface got slicker. And we are into the break now from Pittsburgh. Halftime brought to you by 84 Lumber. Scoreless through 45 minutes in the first ever meeting between Pittsburgh and Brooklyn.
Here in Pittsburgh, strength, pride, and teamwork matter, just like at Home Genius Exteriors, a top-rated roofing, siding, windows, and doors contractor. Call now and get 50% off roofing materials, plus no payments till 2027. And we're proud to offer an extra 10% military discount. Schedule your free, no-obligation home inspection today. Call 412-528-6526. Home Genius Exteriors, proud sponsor of your Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
In 2025, Pittsburgh proved once again champions live here. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds, USL champions, built on grit, strength, and performance. And when it comes to protecting your home, there's a champion there too. Pella Windows and Doors, one of the most trusted names in windows, built for performance and proud partner of the 2025 champion Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And for fans, get 55% off installation and an additional $500 when you mention the Riverhounds. Pella Windows and Doors, built like champions.
Welcome into the 84 Lumber halftime show. Scoreless through 45 minutes between Pittsburgh and Brooklyn. Let's catch up with Rob Vincent in this week's edition of the Coaches Show.
We welcome you back here to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Coaches Show, coming to you from Mike's Beer Bar, one of the best spots. Over 500 beers available here in the North Shore, right across from PNC Park. And we are pleased to be joined now by the head coach, the first head coach and only of the Pittsburgh Riveters, Scott Gibson, second year at the helm. And Scott, it is great to have you here joining us on the show. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's great. So, Pittsburgh Riveters, how's everything going so far, and how much do you like being a part of professional soccer, being a head coach in the city of Pittsburgh?
I mean, it's a dream come true. Last year was obviously our inaugural year. We had a great season, first one. This year the standards are higher, and that's what we have to remind the players and remind the staff, that we've had one game so far, so it went very well last weekend. But no, it's a pleasure. We know it's a responsibility and an honor to represent the city of Pittsburgh, and I love it.
I talked to Rob a lot about what it's like implementing your coaching philosophy in his first full season at the helm. How the hell do you start with a franchise from scratch and implement a philosophy? How do you go about picking players and then implementing your system? How do you describe that process?
Well, I remember looking in my office at a whiteboard with no one on it. So I had to build the team through networking. Then you have to get the right people first. That's the most important thing. I'm sure Rob obviously knows that too. And then you've just the difference with the Riveters season. It's a 2.5 month season, so it's not as long as the Riverhounds one. So you have to have a methodology and a philosophy, but you can't you can't put too much information into the players. But we did a good job last year, but we learned so much from last year, the experience from that.
6-2-3 in your first year. You win the Great Forest Division. And Rob, I'm going to ask you this question because I have an idea of how head coaches answer this. How good a job did Scott do last year in his first year to win the division with a brand new franchise? How impressed were you?
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I mean, we knew that the club and Scott and everybody involved were doing an amazing job in preparation. There'd been so many months going into it. However, when you go into a season, inaugural season as a new franchise, there's some established teams. You never quite know how it's going to play out. And Scott said he learned a lot. And sometimes you have to learn a lot and you don't quite, get the results that you want in that first season. And so there's that process. But to go and win the conference and to do it in such style and with so many good performances and elevate so many players, and I'm sure you guys can talk about the players who've gone off to bigger, better things, I think was a credit to Scott and all the staff involved with that.
Hay mucha fiesta, señor Martino. Hay gente revancha, doctor. Pero falta gol y estamos a esperar a Hugo. ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? ¡Llegamos por fin! ¡Ay, bendito sea el chapar, doctor! Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Vas al norte! A donde me dé la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso. ¡Listo, vamos!
Last season, Louisville City won the prestigious Player Shield, the top team in the USL Championship. But the Pittsburgh Riverhounds took home the ultimate title. Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Louisville City. Saturday, July 18th at noon Eastern on CBS.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years. Our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
In 2025, Pittsburgh proved once again champions live here. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds, USL champions, built on grit, strength, and performance. And when it comes to protecting your home, there's a champion there too. Pella Windows and Doors, one of the most trusted names in windows, built for performance and proud partner of the 2025 champion Pittsburgh Riverhounds. And for fans, get 55% off installation and an additional $500 when you mention the Riverhounds. Pella Windows and Doors, built like champions.
84 Lumber halftime show continues on. Sold out crowd this evening at F&B Stadium. No goals yet to speak of, but the Steel Army hoping their side can come through in the second half. Pittsburgh, no doubt the better side in half number one. Step away from our game for a moment, take a broader look around USL Championship at the upcoming schedule. Some of these games already in action here tonight. Rhode Island has a 1-0 lead on Orange County, who came into the night in first place in the Western Conference. New Mexico, Oakland, an interesting one set to kick off in a half an hour.
Yeah, really interesting one. You're looking at Louisville. They are hosting Hartford Athletic right now. Those are two teams in the Eastern Conference. Las Vegas will welcome El Paso Locomotive, and then we look to Miami FC against Birmingham Legion. A different look for Gaston Madoni and Miami FC.
Hartford, Orange County, another interesting cross-conference matchup in the midweek with Sacramento, Rhode Island. So all that to look forward to in the coming week. Now Dan Lucas will take you around the halftime update in the USL.
It is halftime in the USL Championship. Time to get you caught up on the headlines this week. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio. Orange County did it again last Wednesday, a 4-2 victory at Miami FC. That was Orange County's 8th consecutive match away from its home stadium after welcoming the U.S. national team for its World Cup base camp. Orange County has now gone 5 league matches in a row without a loss and owns the top spot in the Western Conference. Charleston Battery lit up the scoreboard again last week, a 4-1 win over Loudoun United. That's 14 goals in their last 3 league matches, with Malik Foster scoring in 4 straight games. All right, some expansion news from Oklahoma City. A groundbreaking kicked off a new stadium this month, and 3 more professional athletes have joined the club's investment group. The NBA's Jalen Williams, NFL quarterback Baker Mayfield, and Olympic gold medalist Sydney McLaughlin-Lerone are now part of the group with an eye on kickoff in 2028. Upcoming national spotlight games in League One and the Championship. The USL Cup finale between San Antonio and Chattanooga on ESPN2. Then a pair of matches on CBS Sports Network. Sporting Jacks and Pittsburgh on the 15th, followed by AC Boise and Portland on the 17th. And then, of course, the big one on CBS Saturday the 18th. Pittsburgh hosting Louisville City. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
The rookie E-Draft to end it and secure a title for Pittsburgh. 26 years! Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2025 USL Championship winners!
Our blueprint at 84 Lumber started with the simplest of ideas. Hire good people, provide excellent service, add value. From that foundation, we created our structure and shaped an industry. We build projects, homes, dreams, neighborhoods. We build careers, lives, futures. We build success. 84 Lumber.
Stop searching. Start a video visit with an AHN expert anytime, any day. At AHN, we see you.
One here as this ball rolls in, and an early chance is finished by Albert Dequa.
Bringing the 84 Lumber halftime show to its conclusion. Pretty skies overhead as the sun sets and the storms have subsided for now in Pittsburgh. Take you into the highlights brought to you by Corona. A first half that saw a couple of opportunities here and there.
through that first 45 minutes.
Take a look at the stats brought to you by Restano Heating and Cooling. Double up to the shots for Pittsburgh. Possession edge to Brooklyn. Certainly the eyes tell you Pittsburgh the better of the two sides in that half, but as you saw in that last clip, the Klein flicked on header, they're that close to stealing it themselves, Brooklyn.
There's two things that Brooklyn needs to do a little bit better in this second half. Number one, playing out of the back a lot cleaner, especially when your outside backs get the ball. You need to support Marcus Anderson and give them options and the tempo. When you do get high up the field, slow yourself down, but play at a quicker speed, understanding to keep the game simple and really put pressure on the Riverhounds back line.
Continued to rain through the break. Players' jerseys drenched, field slick. It's Pittsburgh right to left in their special Independence Day kits. Weird seeing them in something other than the black and yellow, but here we are on the 4th of July with their celebration kits. Brooklyn in the gray from left to right. And we wait for Amin Hadzic to send us on our way once again from Pittsburgh. Alongside Ricky Lopez Espin, I'm Joe Malfa. Glad to have you with us on ESPN Plus, and away we go in the second half. Scoreless between Pittsburgh and Brooklyn. Cervania pops it up over the top, looking for Anderson. It squeaks through. Calmly passed back for Campuzano. Well done by Mikey McCoy to compound the initial misread and misplay. What's changed for Pittsburgh in the defense has been the mentality. Remember, they didn't have a clean sheet this season until their early May game. A 2-0 win on the road against Louisville. Since then, it's been exclusively clean sheets for Pittsburgh. Came into the night with a 386-minute clean sheet streak. Up to 432 and counting. Campuzano. McNamara. Cervania holds up the play. And Cervania commits the foul.
You mentioned the rain starting to fall a little bit more here. Obviously the artificial surface, so it's going to play really quick. If you are an attacking player, having the ability to continue your run for any sort of spillage in around that 18-yard box is going to be crucial. And as a player, keeping the game simple, connecting your first touch.
Could come here for Pittsburgh. Well, the net was vacated as Burns came off his line, but it ricocheted back into his arms.
Good run from Albert Deco just around the corner. You need to pick up your head and cut this ball back, because there's only one place that you have a teammate in Charles All or Max Vieira making that secondary run into.
$6,376 in attendance tonight at FNB Stadium, the official number, largest of the season for the Riverhounds, second largest all time. Coming at a time where the sport is really reaching a fever pitch in this country amid the World Cup and the success of the United States. I think a lot of us really were curious to see what this summer and beyond would look like, knowing what 1994 gave way to in the sport in this country, and the birth of MLS and the growth of something. Now, these years later, 32 years on to be exact, another home World Cup, to have it catching on in the way it has been, the success of the U.S. Hopefully it's just the start of these crowds becoming more of the norm and the regular. We've seen USL Championship host 3 teams in this tournament. Orange County hosting the U.S., Oakland hosting Australia. Tampa Bay hosting Cabo Verde. This one snuck through for Olney on the hit. Oh, pick that out! CJ Olney putting Brooklyn ahead with the stunner!
We've talked about the quality of CJ Olney from set pieces, but the technique here, impeccable. First, it's the movement, the recognition as this ball goes wide to come centrally. And notice his first touch, it's not the best. It pops up on him, but the patience to let this ball drop, put his laces directly through the center, and find that top corner. Phenomenal strike for Olney Jr. and to give Brooklyn the lead in enemy territory.
The 19-year-old has had time with the U17 national team, with the U20 national team. A player who hopes to be a part of that next wave and generation as he develops here on loan to Brooklyn, finding his way young in his career, finding more minutes, plenty of talent. A player you and I have had the ability to commentate on since his academy days at PDA in New Jersey. In various tournaments we've had a chance to cover. Followed him along to Philadelphia Union and beyond. He was the one who flashed in the first half. The couple of moments that Brooklyn had, the very few moments Brooklyn had, ends up as his second goal of the season to go with 4 assists, and he continues to make his presence felt. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
The concentration it takes to strike a ball that cleanly after your first touch just pops up on you. There's a lot of times when players get in around that 18-yard box, they want to speed up, they want to get their feet moving, and they become a little bit over anxious and try to swing a little bit too early. Such good technique, composure, and a quality finish from Olney Jr.
Can they find more? Squeaks out, Klein lays it off for Stojanovic. Sometimes all it takes is a goal to completely shake a game to life. Maybe that's what we have here. There's always this lingering specter of Brooklyn finding a moment, be it on a set piece or a moment of brilliance. It turned out to be the latter. For all the control they had over this game, Pittsburgh, now they're chasing a deficit. The first goal they've conceded since the beginning of May, a streak that, as I maybe jinxed, and the Pittsburgh fans could come after me. I said it about 5 minutes ago. A streak that reached almost 430 minutes without conceding a goal. I do want to finish what we were talking about before the goal from Brooklyn. 3 teams being hosted, playing in the World Cup by USL teams again. Orange County, Oakland, and Tampa Bay playing host to the U.S., Australia, and Cabo Verde. 5 players active in USL Championship, part of World Cup rosters for Curacao and Haiti. It's great to see as this World Cup has rolled around, that level of involvement, and players who had previously come through USL Championship, impacted their national teams. Player like Tyler Adams for the United States, Matt Turner for the United States. Tyler Adams now the lead investor for Westchester in USL League One. Tim Weah, a lead investor for this Brooklyn team in USL Championship. Free kick on the way for Pittsburgh. They try and get that goal back.
How low can you go? Can you bring it to the top? Like you never stop? Can you bring it to the top? One high. Right foot now. Left foot now, y'all. Chop, chop, real smooth.
Those players who shine in the World Cup is Eloy Room. I don't know if there's any official word as to whether he's back and officially taking the field tomorrow for Miami FC, but that's a possibility. Tomorrow, 7 Eastern, they host Birmingham. Jurgen Locadia, the striker for Miami, coming back from Curacao as well. Leroux set the record for a 90-minute game and saves, 15 saves against Ecuador. The free kick from Goldthorpe. No trouble for Brooklyn. Quickly the conversation in this game shifts with that one moment from CJ Olney. You go from talking about Pittsburgh's unbeaten run and their clean sheet streak to now putting the magnifying glass on Brooklyn, who have not won a regular season game since April 11th, a 3-0 home win over Charleston. Goes to show you how quickly things can change in this league. That was when Charleston were off to their slow start, have completely done a 180, vaulted up to second place in the Eastern Conference, though lost today against Indy. And since then, Brooklyn have gone the other way. They haven't won a game.
It's an opportunity for Marlon LeBlanc and Rob Vincent to really learn about their respective clubs. If you are the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, only through the run and play, the happier the two teams. Now you have to find a way to call yourself back into and show a little bit of personality to fight, to put pressure, and get one on the scoreboard. And for Marlon LeBlanc, how do you play on the road, have the lead? Big opportunity for this Brooklyn side.
Next Saturday, July 11th, Riverhounds back at F&B Stadium for Dollar Beer Night against Loudoun United. Bring the energy pack to stands, enjoy dollar beers while the Hounds battle against a conference rival. Under the lights, tickets available now. Scan the QR code on screen or visit riverhounds.com/tickets. Contact there, edge of the area, and the free kick is given. Terrific place. Pittsburgh to try and find their way back in. And a sub coming as well. That'll be all for Max Vieira. Never really impacted this game the way Rob Vincent had hoped. In steps Trevor Emmon.
Max Vieira. In his place, number 7, Trevor Emmon.
You're going to have two big bodies to play into if you are the Riverhounds, with Trevor Emmon and Albert Dikla. Can work off one another, can stretch the field, but also can link up play. But first, a really interesting location and comfortable distance for, seems like Elliot Goldthorpe will stand over the ball to go up and over the wall to really test Lucas Burns here.
Hammond steps into this match off the bench, has a goal this season, came in that 2-0 win over Louisville almost 2 months ago for Pittsburgh. And he get going again. Left foot of Goldthorpe, right foot of All. Which will it be? It is Goldthorpe. Curious where that might have ended up. It seemed like he struck it well, and he seems upset with himself that he couldn't sneak it over the wall.
Yeah, hits it well. Elliot Goldthorpe trying to bend it over the wall into that right corner. Well done by the Brooklyn wall to step in, to jump in unison, not split, and do their job.
Quickly taken, Cohen Markets corner kick, All end line, squares it back, nobody there, comes all the way out, and wasted, completely wasted by Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you need that ball into that dangerous area, but if you do cut it back, you have to be aware that someone is sitting on top of that 18-yard box. Those are situations that are just simply not clean enough and not good enough for the Riverhounds if they want to call themselves back into this match.
time for the Chatham University Fact of the Game. Fans, if you're looking for a safe bet on Independence Day, look no further than right here at FNB Stadium. Historically, the Riverhounds hold a dominant 5-2-1 home record when it comes to July 4th matches in Pittsburgh. That includes last year's thriller where the Hounds picked up a gritty 1-0 victory over New Mexico United in front of a packed holiday crowd. Looking to keep that going in the red, white, and blue against Brooklyn tonight, but we'll have to do so from behind as we tick to the hour mark. Half hour remains. Brooklyn 1. CJ only with a terrific strike. Surely will be up for goal of the week. Pittsburgh has been looking to respond ever since. It's been 11 minutes now since that goal. So the first sub made by Pittsburgh. Trevor Ammon on for Max Vieira. County tied things up on the road against Rhode Island 1-1, 82nd minute. Still scoreless between Louisville and Hartford in the 58th minute. Quick start for Phoenix, up 1-0 on the road against Colorado Springs. Corner coming for Brooklyn.
Seems like Marcus Anderson definitely gets the wrong end of the stick here. Contact as Robbie Mertz does leave his feet. And another dangerous set piece opportunity for CJ Only Jr.
Only with a goal already. Any supply now from the corner. Curled in to the edge of the 6. Where you want it, but nobody in gray crashing. Lasse Kelp. Again, it's Kelp.
Reminder that after the match, players will be signing autographs on the pitch. Stick around to meet the team, presented by King Orthodontics. Pittsburgh's most confident smiles with locations in Wexford.
Ammon, deflected service, almost got to Goldthorpe at the back post, and a corner coming for Pittsburgh.
Good movement from Goldthorpe, just trying to peel off the shoulder of Alves. Really good idea from Trevor Ammon, just trying to bend this ball around the back line.
Cohen Market's corner kick coming again. Last corner they went short. Wasted it. Some contact here in the middle. Remember, there's no VAR, so it's whatever Amin Hadjic saw or didn't see in the moment. After much ado, Goldthorpe finally from the corner. Drops it in, some contact there again. Second consecutive corner for Pittsburgh, where there's nothing on it, no chance, completely wasted. Two different approaches, one short, one long. Same results of nothingness in the end. Barnes driving forward, only fronts him defensively. It's the area of Olney's game at his young age that needs to come along the most. His defensive work did well there. Barnes now squeaking it through, found a way, and it's cleared off the line by Frogson. Deflected to Goldthorpe, took another deflection, which slowed it down just enough for Frogson to clear. Nervy moment for Brooklyn, nearly something for Pittsburgh, but the score remains unchanged.
Rob Vincent, you have to be pleased with the amount of numbers you have in this attacking action, putting pressure on the back line, but Frogson does a wonderful job at just using his body and spinning at the doorstep to fend off this Pittsburgh attacker.
Hammond, Goldthorpe, play on. McNamara, well done by Olney. CJ Olney knocks it back for Cervania, who overran it. Just the little things in Olney's game, you could just tell the bright future he has ahead of him. The sense and awareness of space there to let that run by, the hesitation, the vision.
Tomorrow here at FNB Stadium for the USL W Central Conference Final. Your Pittsburgh Riveters look to avenge last year's playoff loss to the Minnesota Aurora. Kickoff at 7 p.m. Scan the QR code on the screen.
You can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus live matches from the USL, MLS Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Pressure from All. Frogson holds it up. All keeps it in play. Frogson has to move it. Klein working it clear. Long run for All, battling Frogson that time. Seemed the frustration poured out from Charles All. Frogson wants no part of his handshake and help back to his feet. I wouldn't either. That was quite intentional from All after their last battle the previous time down the field.
He's done a good job in this second half. Frogson has just dealing with the amount of pressure that Pittsburgh's starting to apply towards this back line, using his body extremely well. And Romeo been a little bit more aggressive in terms of their positioning as well, jumping in that central role, really congesting that space in front of them.
Mertz. Can he get more involved? It feels like when he's going, this team is going. There's Hammond crashing literally into Lucas Burns.
Still sound clear on my end here.
The yellow we were expecting now dished out to Trevor Hammond.
Good read from Burns. Hammond unable to kill his momentum and just simply comes into Lucas Burns. The Brooklyn players do not take kindly to it and deserving of a yellow card for Trevor Hammond.
First yellow against Pittsburgh. Stefan Stojanovic, remember, has one for Brooklyn. 2 yellows so far in this match, 1 each side.
Nice catch. That is a color crowd save, and that fans just earned themselves a free mini soccer ball.
Oh, I love that. Didn't know that. Sorry from the PA guy, if you catch a ball that comes out of play, you win a free mini ball. I'd be all over that. Perrin Barnes all over this attack. It spins out for a corner.
Is it a select the player's choice mini ball?
That's a great point.
Riverhounds fans.
It's a really good deal.
We need you. We have a Cohen corner kick.
Cohen corner kick for Pittsburgh. Still looking for an answer in the attack. 8 shots to Brooklyn's 4, both sides with 2 on target. But they've lacked venom in the attack. They've lacked anything really in the last 10-15 minutes. Goldthorpe to the back post. Mertz. Griffin. Another Cohen corner for Pittsburgh.
This last ball from Ellie Goldthorpe landed right on top of the 6-yard box, and thousands in attendance here at FNB Stadium wanting something to cheer about, especially with the quality that Goldthorpe has. You need this ball to be driven, not as much air as the previous corner kick here.
It's the same delivery though to the back post and the same result. Try another Cohen corner kick from the near side.
So if you hit it a little bit lower with more pace, there's less time for Brooklyn to read the flight, but also you do not need to generate enough power. You just simply redirect it with the amount of pace coming in from Ellie Goldthorpe.
In the meantime, 2 changes being prepared for Brooklyn. Ryan McLaughlin and Taimu Okiyoshi waiting to come on. Thorpe will deliver now from the opposite end. He takes both corners, both feet, but he might go short here to Charles Ault, who's waiting for it. Goldthorpe swings it in, driven ball this time. Better service with his right than he gave with his left, and it's out for a Pittsburgh throw. Starting to apply more pressure to Brooklyn overall. And maybe these changes and the 2 sets of fresh legs for the visitors will help. It's McLaughlin for Van Kuyzeel and Okiyoshi for Cervania.
Number 92, Thomas Van Kuyzeel. Now in, number 86, Taimu Okiyoshi. And number 23, Ryan McLaughlin.
Barnes. Alves gets ahead to it. It's a long way to go still, over 15 minutes plus stoppage for Brooklyn if they're playing this way. Bending, not breaking, but for how long? Barnes. Settled by McCoy. All they need is to nick one on the counter. Could be on as this game goes on.
Needs to be careful. Trevor Hammond already on a yellow card. Comes through and catches Alves. A little bit of frustration shown by the sub. We're walking a really thin line for the remainder of this game, Hammond. Big test in terms of his decision making and discipline. Watch out.
Extras there. What will the referee, Hadzic, make of this? Oh, a slap in the face. Albert Dikwa just punched Tommy McNamara in the face and then ate one himself. Again, there's no VAR, so if no referees caught it, nothing will be done. But Albert Dikwa just punched Tommy McNamara in the face.
As this ball comes through, there is a little bit of a coming together from Stojanovic into the chest of Kelp here. But as Marcus Anderson's over the top of...
Watch right side, right side. There's a shove from McNamara, and here's the punch from Albert Dikwa. And during this replay, he was shown a red card, so it was caught, and Dikwa's off. That's made things that much worse for Pittsburgh now this evening. Down a goal, now down a man. It did look like just the one red card was doled out. Waiting to confirm that on the field. Hadzic had it out for a second. That's what spawned the whole thing. Nothing else really happens here.
It does seem like Stojanovic has got shown red as well.
Perhaps for his retaliation on Dikwa, for Dikwa's initial blow to McNamara. Okay, so the sides will be even, 10 apiece. So Albert Dikwa gone, Stefan Stojanovic gone. With under 15 to play. The manpower still even, both sides down to 10. But Dikwa, the leading scorer for Pittsburgh, off for a team who's chasing a goal. One more look at how it all started. It's that challenge right there, and maybe a little pull from Kelp. There was a little Zidane headbutt from Stojanovic, actually, that spawned the whole thing, and that's what he got the red card for. And then Dikwa gets it for right there at the tail end of that swipe at McNamara.
I thought initially also Marcus Anderson comes in and catches Dikwa. He's lucky not to see a card shown his way as well.
Something the league will be looking at as well during the week for further evaluation. Don't miss one of the biggest matches of the summer as the Riverhounds host Louisville City on Saturday, July 18th at noon in a nationally televised showdown on CBS. Be there live at F&B Stadium and arrive early. The first 750 fans get that AMO World Cup inspired bobblehead. Scan the QR code on screen or visit riverhounds.com/tickets.
We'll call 412-865-GOAL.
So watch here. I think what you're mentioning right there at the end, Anderson came in and got Dikwa in the back of the head. That's what you had spotted, where maybe Pittsburgh feel after all that wrong done to not be up a man the way things went
Agreed.
down.
Yes, Albert Dikwa catches Tommy McNamara with almost a punch in the face, but Marcus Anderson actually comes to the back of the head of Albert Dikwa. Really lucky that that's not caught.
And again, no VAR. We're able to take the extra looks at this. The referees cannot. The yellow just shown to Frogson as the tempers continue to remain high with 10 minutes plus stoppage. Brooklyn up 1-0.
There's a yellow card against Brooklyn, number 24.
Especially now if you are this Brooklyn side, you need to keep a cool head. Do not get pulled into anything silly. Up a goal already. Frogson picks up a yellow card, just simply no need, as Charles All is going nowhere facing the sideline.
Now in, number 95, Abdoulaye Conte.
That'll be all for Tommy McNamara. Third change made now by Brooklyn this evening. Abdoulaye Conte in his stead. Mara having some words with assistant coach, the Pittsburgh side of the equation. So we're still flaring off the pitch as well as on the pitch between these sides. His goalkeeper coach John Bush was having words with McNamara.
Back up, please. You guys aren't supposed to be up here to begin with.
All right, that has had a lot on the bingo card. Is there a late goal from the home side in front of this sold-out crowd? Is there a silencer from Brooklyn to go up by 2? Anderson, excuse me. Upfield by McCoy, space for Goldthorpe. Goldthorpe has felt a step slow in his decision-making tonight. Lasse Kelp commits the foul. He's shown yellow.
Yellow card against Pittsburgh, number 4, Lasse Kelp.
A little pick out from Okioshi as Conte sees the pressure. Really clever as Kelp overcommits. He gets himself into the book.
Jorge Garcia replaces Perrin Barnes.
Tonight's attendance is a sellout. This is the largest regular season crowd in FNB Stadium history, with a final mark of 6,376. This is also the second largest ever crowd at FNB Stadium.
That cheer you're hearing from the crowd, the attendance that we were privy to earlier, just announced to the crowd, second largest in this stadium's history, largest of the season. Another sellout for Pittsburgh. A crowd that's still waiting for a reason to cheer.
Have to think dollar beer night.
Oh, it's going to come close next week.
This is a challenge, right?
Hasn't felt like a lot of urgency from Pittsburgh. In a second half that has been choppy with some of the extras and stoppages in the action.
The tempo certainly been lacking. The ideas in the final third haven't been as fluid as we come to expect. underneath Rob Vincent. Certainly the intensity has dropped as well in the second 45 minutes. Really sloppy again from the Riverhounds.
Conte. Can Brooklyn make Pittsburgh pay and put this game to bed? A Klein. Conte flares one back post. Anderson lets it go. Did curl all the way back into play.
29 in Brooklyn. What was that one more time? In, 2 out, Pittsburgh. She just said that. 42 in, 2 out, Pittsburgh.
Garcia is all to his left. Charles All bends the ball in, not bad, but not anything that amounts to a danger moment either. And another sub coming now for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh preparing 1, Brooklyn preparing 2. That'll be all for CJ Olney, who leaves with the only goal of the match so far, stands as the winner. Jesse Obregon in as well.
Substitutions for Brooklyn. Checking out number 35, Marcus Anderson, and number 56, Christopher Olney Jr. Now checking in, number 29, J.C. Obregon, and number 98, Pierre De Silva.
Jackson Walty is still waiting with the 4th official. They didn't get him up in time. That's might come now. Told he's replacing Danny Griffin when they allow it. And here it comes.
We've got another substitution, this time for the Hounds. Coming out is number 2, Danny Griffin. And now in, number 42, Jackson Walty.
Feels like it's just gone completely stale for Pittsburgh tonight. Has Brooklyn been doing anything to stymie them, or has it just been Pittsburgh not able to get out of their own way with some of these moments?
A little bit of both. Look at this Brooklyn side, especially in this second 45 minutes, did a really good job. Actually, job not done yet, but a job of frustrating the Riverhounds. Being really physical, not allowing them to get any sort of rhythm. That's exactly what you need to grind out a result, especially when you're up a goal on the road. Difficult place to play where you haven't had any success throughout the 2026 season. Winless when you play away. You need to make this game really choppy, and they've done that and a little bit more, but also Riverhounds have not been clean enough or ruthless enough when they do get on the ball.
Seconds remaining in the 90 minutes. Pressure from the Riverhounds forces a turnover. It's Garcia. Mertz delivering. Ammon was there. Knocked away. Loose for Walty. Was he fouled? No. I mean, Hadzic had a good view of it. Play on. Can they turn up the heat, Pittsburgh, and find the leveler? Pass left short. Now Conte could break away with Obregon. Conte to Obregon. McCoy gets out there in time, forces him wide. Does well to earn the throw and take some more time off the clock now for Brooklyn. We're now told there will be 6 minutes of added time. Cleared back to the middle. McLaughlin wins it. Conte lays it off. McLaughlin. Some mental errors tonight from Pittsburgh that have cost them in these moments. Need to clear that one through the middle. Ultimately, they recover. It's a throw for the Riverhounds, but still pinned deep in their own end. Mertz skies it. Bolthorpe waiting for it. Won by Klein instead. Multi recovers again for Pittsburgh. Mertz. Souza. Brooklyn minutes away from their first win in the regular season since April 11th. It's almost 3 full months ago. They have won games in USL Cup. Most notably a big 5-1 win a few weeks ago against Portland Hearts of Pine. But the success there hasn't migrated over into the regular season. Not yet, at least. In the same way, though, that about 2 months ago now, Pittsburgh had a big statement 2-0 win on the road against Louisville that sparked a really positive stretch of form. It's been 4 unbeaten since then. Could this be the one moment Brooklyn needs to turn the tides a bit? As if they hold on. Campuzano skies it. 4 minutes remaining in stoppage time. Garcia lets it fly. Won't accomplish anything.
Done a good job at finding some pocket to space Garcia in between lines of this Brooklyn defensive set. Good idea, just the execution certainly lacking. Leans back, gets underneath the ball, puts it up and over the crossbar.
Obregon, opportunistic, bouncing into the arms of Campuzano as Obregon was there. Obregon. Conte cuts infield. Conte ends it! Brooklyn's drought comes to an end. It'll be their first regular season win in almost 3 months.
First on the season for Conte, no better time to make his impact felt. Love the off-the-ball running. Obregon Jr. plays the ball to his feet, but that is a wonderful first touch to cut back across. Kalpin just simply take him out of the game. And a really clever and quick finish, just simply toe pokes it by the goalkeeper. Instinctual, ruthless, and 3 points in the back pocket for Brooklyn FC.
Never know, any given night in this league, Pittsburgh hadn't lost in almost 2 months. Brooklyn hadn't won in almost 3 months. Both those streaks end tonight.
On the assist, number 29, J.C. Obregon.
This is the kind of night, Ricky, that could completely change the attitude around a team and send them on their way.
This second half for Mario LeBlanc, a lot to take from, first and foremost, the mentality and the energy that you've expended in this second half, closing down space, winning every 50-50 duel, and then allowing your attacking players to be extremely ruthless and just express themselves. A good result this seems to be for Brooklyn here.
And now they can carry this into next week's USL Cup fixture. It's a difficult one on the road against Rhode Island, but pending what Hartford does elsewhere in Hartford's match, a win for Brooklyn on the road, and they could win their group and end up in the quarterfinal of the USL Cup. They also, with a win, regardless of what Hartford does, they could end up in the wild card conversation, so a very good chance to go through in USL Cup next week. And then the following week, they visit Sporting Jacks, the last place team in the Eastern Conference. So now all of a sudden you're thinking about Brooklyn with the talent they have, and we've felt that they've just been stuck in low gear because the individual talent is there, even though the overall team cohesion maybe hasn't been. Is this the night that turns the tide? Can they go on a run?
That's a Pella crowd save, and that band has earned themselves a mini soccer ball. Pella windows and doors keeps the view clear here at FNB Stadium.
Whistle should come here from Amin Hadzic. There it is. It makes Brooklyn's win official. For the first time since early April, Brooklyn on the winning side of the ledger. 2-0 on the road against Pittsburgh.
And you see what it means for Marlon LeBlanc and this Brooklyn side. A lot of hard work put forth throughout this result. First win away from home as well. Really big result that can start to grow some momentum for this Brooklyn FC side. Wonderful performance on the road.
Presented by Modelo, the man of the match, celebrating those with a fighting spirit, like Elliot Goldthorpe, whose determination and skill truly embody the mark of a fighter tonight for Pittsburgh on a losing effort.
He was the most active player for the Riverhounds going forward. Obviously, the quality certainly lacked, but good effort and good performance by Elliot Goldthorpe.
Take a look at the save on the match presented by Edgar Snyder and Associates. There honestly wasn't much to pick from tonight. Brooklyn was clinical in their efforts. Pittsburgh didn't really have any shots to speak of, so it's just this one moment early in the game off the corner.
Yeah, as Campuzano stepped off of his line. Good goalkeeping to push it up and away from traffic.
On Independence Day, America celebrates 250 fireworks overhead in Pittsburgh. The Riverhounds, though, do not celebrate a win. Instead, it's Brooklyn coming on the road with a win of their own, taking it 2-0. We're back to wrap things up on the other side from FNB Stadium.
At FNB, we rewrote the rules of banking and made getting everything you need a whole lot easier. Experience the one-of-a-kind eStore Common app. Checking, savings, loans, credit cards. One application, done in minutes. No hoops, no hassles, no surprises. Just one common app for more than 50 business and consumer products.
Can your bank do that? Didn't think so.
Welcome to FNB. Let's get started.
Here in Pittsburgh, strength, pride, and teamwork matter, just like at Home Genius Exteriors, a top-rated roofing, siding, windows, and doors contractor. Call now and get 50% off roofing materials, plus no payments till 2027, and we're proud to offer an extra 10% military discount. Schedule your free, no-obligation home inspection today. Call 412-528-6526. Home Genius Exteriors, proud sponsor of your Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
One here as this ball rolls in, and an early chance is finished by Albert Dikwa.
Well, these fireworks off the bridge post-match maybe don't make up for it in the fans' mind. Lack of fireworks on the field from the Riverhounds in the duration of the 90. A surprise defeat at home 2-0 against Brooklyn FC. Take a look at the full-time highlights presented by Corona. The first half that saw Pittsburgh in control. put it together. They finally do so on the road tonight. Full-time stats are presented by Aristano Heating and Cooling. They don't necessarily paint the whole picture. It felt like Pittsburgh controlled some swaths of this game, but just completely faded the last half hour, never really punched back.
If you are Rob Vincent, a reaction is going to be needed from your side, not only through the play, but through the mentality and the effort and the intensity. But whatever Marlon LeBlanc said at halftime really struck a chord with Brooklyn because they were a completely different team in the second half.
Well, these two teams enter USL Cup action next week as we wrap up group play in that tournament. Back in the regular season the week after that, Pittsburgh will have to lick the wounds to get back on track. Brooklyn will look to ride the momentum. A 2-0 win tonight on the road over the Riverhounds. And broadcast partner Ricky Lopez, Espen, and the crew that makes this possible, I'm Joe Malva saying so long for now. Enjoy the rest of your Independence Day responsibly.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.